Saturday. This is Auntie, and I am going to be talking about a story that is currently on TikTok. This is a tragic story of Rachel Tussy, who is a 47 or was a 47-year-old mom from Ohio. She was a wife, a mother of three, and a woman who had finally reached a point in life where she wanted to do something for herself. On TikTok, under the name Midlife Unmuted, she shared pieces of her life with thousands of followers, real, relatable, and hopeful. She wasn't about chasing clout, she wasn't chasing confidence. And for moms, Rachel talked about and documented on TikTok about getting a mommy makeover, a cosmetic surgery that often includes a tummy tuck and other procedures. She documented everything, y'all. Consultations, nerves, excitements. And in one of her final videos, sitting in a hospital gown, she smiled and said, I've waited a really long time for this. I'm in good hands. God's got my back. And that moment, it hit differently. Later and right now. Y'all, let's talk about this tragic story of Rachel Tussy. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my nieces and nephews, and all the y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie advice. Sweet old. It's time for auntie advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for auntie advice. Hey everybody, welcome back, and this is Auntie of Auntie's Advice. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. To all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul and some who have just jumped on board, thank you all so much for your continued support. Y'all, this story has hit me really differently, and I just wanted to share some of it. We're going to be looking at some of Rachel's story as she documented it on TikTok. Viewer discretion is advised. If this is something that will cause you to be upset, please feel free to roll out. Okay? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a sincere way. As I said, Rachel Tussy was a 45-year-old mom. She had three kids, and she was a woman like many other women who get to a certain point of your age and you're, tired of yo-yo dieting. You have different things that are happening with your body and changing constantly, and you just want to go head on and get it all done. Um, you want to go ahead and get that mommy makeover, that Tommy tuck, um, that boob lift, whatever it is that you want to get. And Rachel had decided that now was the time for her to do it. She had sacrificed her life taking care of her children, as any great mother does. Excuse me, y'all, my shirt. And, she just was the epitome of motherhood and sacrifice, in my opinion. And now her children are grown, and this was, or just about grown, and this was her time to do her. And the story just became tragic because on February 25th of 2026, Rachel went in for surgery. At first, everything seemed fine. Her husband, Jeremy, was told the procedure had gone well. The doctor even assured him and began heading out. Rachel was awake and in recovery, talking, asking for her husband. It looked like a success story until it wasn't. Let's look at some of the video that led up or that Rachel was uploading on TikTok so you can get kind of an understanding of how she felt about the surgery and everything else. Okay. And then we're going to watch the video of her husband and what changed their lives forever. So if you could just be patient with me real quick, I'm going to bring up one of the videos that I was looking at that I wanted to really share. Just one second. Give me patience, y'all. Just give me patience. Okay. If I started in the middle, I will go back and bring you all up to snuff. Just one second. And for those of you all who have been asking, yes, I am feeling better and better every day. Okay, so let's get into this video.
So I went for my pre-op today. My doctor is Dr. Torque in Cincinnati. And when I tell you this guy is amazing, he is amazing. I see why people come from all over the country because he has a skill set that is definitely not a Midwest doctor at all. So I'm super impressed with him. And I think that liking your surgeon and trusting your surgeon, I think that makes a big difference in this process because this is a big operation that I'm getting ready to do. And there's some vulnerability to all of this too. I am going to have to trust people to take care of me, and that's really scary to me. But
that is very scary. If you have ever had any kind of surgery or anything like that, you understand that, things can sometimes go wrong in surgeries. And so there's some people who seem like they don't have any fear, right? They're going to get plastic surgery or do whatever they're going to do with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop, and they do it with no thought to it. But then there are people like Rachel and people like myself who are apprehensive every time you have to go under the knife. So we're seeing now, just how serious this was to her.
I'm always the caretaker, so the thought of taking care of people is just, it's a whole different ballgame. But I'm super excited. I got some really great information. My friend, since I was 11 years old, came with me and took notes. And my markup will be the night before, and then I will be his canvas on the 25th. The nurses are incredible. I'm super, super pumped to do this. And I'm only 47, and I think I still have a lot of life to live. And I am so excited to do this for myself. So I'm going to continue to update you guys because I'm always looking at other people's updates and tips and suggestions. I'm going to get the Juvian, the Arnica tea. I've got a lift recliner. I've got the walker, the Fajas. Okay, so I have a ton of Fajas. Hold on. This is the Marina.
So as you all can see, she is extremely excited about this. She has been watching other people as we do, if we're going to have a procedure or maybe, social media has just become a source of and a wealth of information, right? On whatever subject it is. You could be remodeling your home, and social media is that source for you, right? So of course we see her, really excited. She got her little faja, she's been doing different things, and we'll see some other things. We're going to be looking at some other things that she did as well, right? Using social media, other TikTokers and content creators as a source and a wealth of information for her.
This one's like 150, but I felt like it fit pretty good. And I want an open crotch because I want to be as independent as I possibly can. I know I'm going to need some help, but the zipper kind of makes me a little nervous. So I am looking, I've bought probably 10 of them. I really like Shaper X, and if you want to send me one that has an open crotch, I would absolutely be open to it because these are amazing. I also have the Yannis, and
y'all see all the preparation she's doing.
These are, they're okay too. But the fajas, that's been like the kind of the biggest issue is trying to find one. So if you recommend a certain one, I would love to hear it. But yeah, I want to share my journey because I know there are so many women out there just like me that are scouring TikTok, Facebook, and the Facebook groups are kind of scary. But Dr. Torque has a Let's Torque About Plastic Surgery on Facebook, and everybody raves about him. He is phenomenal. If you get a chance, check him out because he is super great. But yep, that's my update. Yay, I'm on the right path and I'm ready to go.
So as you all can see, as I said, she is extremely excited about having this surgery done. And like she said, she's been going to Facebook and other platforms on social media as a source of information. She did indicate in this video that the Facebook group has been really scary. I don't know what she meant by that, whether or not, people have been on this particular Facebook group, giving scary information or whatever. But she is confident that her doctor is the best and that a lot of people go to him and stuff like that, right? So, we can't sit around and say that, it looks like she did not do her homework, because it absolutely looks like she did her homework and, was, just really excited about having this surgery. So let's look at this next video.
Asked how much weight I've lost. I have lost 20 pounds. This is a large, and now it kind of feels like an extra large. It doesn't hug my curves at all. Pretty excited about that. We have to eat healthy to be healthy, right? And especially in our 40s when perimenopause and menopause and all these changes are happening to our bodies, we have to love it even more, right? So that's what I have adopted for myself. Eat healthy to be healthy. So I do a lot of ground chicken, ground turkey, vegetables. I do a lot of
So it sounds like she's doing all the right things, right, y'all?
yogurt bowls. Um, and I'm just trying to keep it healthy and optimal for my body. And I think that's going to increase my healing rate. I think that's going to help my results show sooner because I am going to go through swell hell. I'm already prepared for this. I'm as prepared as I can be. But all of this leads up to this big change for me. People have asked how much.
So as you all can see, as I stated, she's been doing updates for everybody, and it just letting everybody know what's going on. The chair that you see in the background is a chair that someone has suggested to her that she use. She, changed different things in her room. She has her snack bins, like she has all the things, right? Because she is excited about having this surgery, and everybody is excited for her. And none of us saw what was coming. Let's continue to look at her story. Let me share my screen.
Dr. Torque's office and he will mark me up. And my surgery is next week. I can officially say it's next week. Next Tuesday, I will go to Dr. Torque's office and he will mark me up. And Wednesday morning, I will have my plastic surgery. And I am really excited. I'm really nervous. It's taken a long time to get here. I am training for this like a marathon. My husband has been supportive. I've got great girlfriends. I've got a good support system. I'm nervous about being the patient. I've always been the caregiver. I'm also nervous about just being still. Um, I'm nervous about not being able to multitask or to just get up and do basic things like go to the bathroom or make my own food for a couple days or maybe a week or maybe 2 weeks. I'm nervous about the swelling. I'm nervous about wearing a faja for the next 6 to 8 weeks. Like you don't even start out in the binder with Dr. Torque, but I trust him. So I'm going to follow the rules and I'm going to do it because I want the best results. I'm 47. I see a lot of women my age who are doing this. And I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I've had babies. I've had so many laparoscopy surgeries. I've got piercing scars. Like, I want all of that gone. Maybe that's vain, maybe it's not, but um, I really feel like this is going to be life changing for me.
Tell me in the comment section if you feel like you can relate to this. You've lived your whole life for someone else and you just want to get, that body back together. You want to get it, a little snapback or whatever, for whatever reasons. Let me know if you can relate to this in the comment section.
Insulin resistance, PCOS. I have been on every diet. I've starved myself. I've had binge events. I've, or ate out of stress. I've been on phentermine and I've taken every diet medicine, and, I can get to a place and then I don't. And then the side effects are horrible. I've been on GLP-1s, and I'm ready to just feel good in my body, whatever that looks like. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for, there she is. And I think I'm going to get that. So I'm really excited for that. The caregiver part, being the patient, I am nervous about that. Not because I don't trust people to do it, but because I've never had to have people do it, or very minimal care at most when I've been sick, like everyone else. But we're moms. We're moms. We multitask and we get it done. So just to be, that's going to be interesting. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow the rules. I'm going to do it. I've got an awesome lift recliner that my husband got me for Christmas.
So as you all can see, she's been preparing for this for quite some time.
I've got an open crotch faja because I don't want to have to take that torture device off every single time I have to go to the bathroom. And the zipper, that I don't know about all that. So yeah, I'm here and I'm going to do something that excites me and scares the hell out of me. And I'm going to bring you with me.
She has thousands of people who are following her in this journey. Oftentimes as content creators, you journey your life. And, people who can relate to it, they click, they like, they view, they subscribe, they do all the things. And so she had a plethora of people who were following her as she went on this journey to have a mommy makeover and to start her life over again. Let's continue, y'all, to look at her story. Sandy, I can relate to, boo. Trust me, I can.
Time next week will be my first day of recovery, and I have just a range of emotions. 1 minute, I am super excited, and I'm like, I've got this. And ultimately, I do know that I have this, but I'm nervous too. I don't like pain medicine. I don't like pain. Who likes pain? Nobody likes pain. But I'm nervous about the pain. So if you've had this procedure and you want to give me some tips, that would be amazing. I would appreciate that. I've got a good support system. I've got a lot. My husband's going to be with me for the first 5 days. Thank God. And then my girlfriends are all jumping on board. So I am super appreciative of that.
I have been wanting a tummy tuck. It's so funny because when she talks about the girlfriends, I've been wanting a tummy tuck for quite some time, right? And all my girlfriends are like, "Oh, we'll be there. We'll take turns and stuff like that." So you look forward to doing stuff like this, and then you got your support system that's around you, and that means everything, everything.
Because it's not easy for me to humble myself, but I'm going to need help, and I'm going to just stepping up for me, because this is a big deal. But I'm excited. I'm excited to say, there she is. Will be my.
So we don't need that one. I'm going to go straight to the video. These are her children. This is her showing her room.
This is my setup. I've gotten all of my medicine, everything that people have recommended. I've got some snacks. I've got the ABD pads, ice packs. Um, I have covered my chair to make sure I don't drop anything down there. I did get the comfort blanket, and I'm pretty pumped about this. It's a really cool blanket. And then I got a smaller version of this. And if you have hot flashes, then you know this is the best blanket. But we are down to 2 days. Tomorrow I get marked up. I don't really know a whole lot about walking.
Okay, so as you all can see, she is continuing to share. She has 2 more days. And so everybody is in her comment section. They're excited for her. They're still giving her advice and stuff like that. Like everybody's on board. And I think that, I can relate to this because I think that if I was doing something like this, you all would be inundating me with information and all that stuff, right? Y'all would definitely be giving me advice and ready to go on the journey with me. Okay. Let me just show this real quick. Hold on 1 second. This is a reel that she did as she arrived to the hospital for the day of her surgery, y'all. Let me just kind of show her little reel that she did to share with those who are behind her. I am going to make sure it stays muted because I believe she has music in the background. So this is Dr. Tor's office. She has a day in her life. That's one of her girlfriends who's going with her. She's at Dr. Talk. She's excited. She's got the bathing suit that she hopes to be able to get into after her surgery is over. Dr. Talk, plastic surgery. Let's see if there's any music. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. I think there's music. I don't want a copyright strike, but I do want you to get the full experience. So if I could get this thing to just drop down. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so I don't want to unmute. So she was really scared, nervous, as usual, like any other person who was be going to do such a major surgery. Um, but just minutes after Jeremy, so on February 25th of 2026, Rachel went in there for the surgery as we saw. At first, like I said, everything seemed fine. Her husband, Jeremy, was told the procedure had gone well. The doctor even assured him and began heading out. Rachel was awake in recovery, talking, asking for her husband. And like I said, it looked like it was a success story until it wasn't. Just minutes later, Jeremy noticed a shift in his wife. Rachel's face lost color. She stopped responding, and the whole room changed for him. The nurses rushed in, CPR started, emergency measures followed, but according to her husband, there was confusion, hesitation, and in his opinion, a lack of urgency. By the time his wife, Rachel, was rushed to the hospital, the damage had already been done. Rachel had gone more than 6 minutes without oxygen. And as we all know, that's all it takes. According to reports, the doctors delivered the news no family wants to hear, and neither were they prepared for. Rachel has suffered a severe brain injury, her brain deprived of oxygen too long. She was placed on life support, but the Rachel her family knew wasn't coming back. Days later, her family had to make an impossible decision. And we're going to look at this video from her husband. Again, if this is too much for you, viewer discretion is advised. Okay, you can hop on out at any time. I ain't gonna be mad at you. I totally understand if this is too much. This is not something everybody can take. Okay, so let me cue this up. Just give me a second. So we're going to hear one last video from Rachel. I'm sorry, let me get the mute button fixed.
It's my turn. I feel a big range of emotions, but mostly it is absolutely excitement and gratitude. My husband's here. I've got a great support team, and I'm really looking forward to this next chapter. If you're a praying person, I will absolutely take your prayers. I'm getting closer. They're getting ready to do my IVs, and they're asking all the questions, and I'm starting to get so many incredible messages from you guys. Please pray. I know it's going to be great, and I've waited a really long time for this. I'm in good hands. I know God's got my back, and let's do this.
So, as you all can see, she is still optimistic. This is the day of surgery. She's got minutes left to have this surgery done. And we're so excited. So, just 1 second. Let me cue this video up. This is her husband. Let's watch.
Hello, all. I know y'all know that Rachel went into surgery Wednesday morning. We got there at 6 o'clock. They rolled her back for surgery at 7:30. I sat out in the parking lot all day waiting on her to finish, and I got a phone call about 5:45 that I could come in to the recovery room. On my way in, I stopped and spoke with the doctor for a few minutes. He assured me the surgery went great. So he was heading home. Well, as he left, I could hear Rachel talking in the background, asking for me. So I went to the room. Well, on my way to the room, I noticed there was nobody else in the facility. It was locked down, it was closed. There was a cleaning crew of, I think, 2 people sweeping the hallway. There was another nurse that had stepped in, but she was going back and forth throughout the in and out of the door. So anyway, Rachel could hear me talk, so she heard my voice. I stepped around to the side of the bed and touched her arm, and she knew it was me touching her. Well, next thing you know, the one girl that was outside the room walked in and asked her, said, "How's your pain?" Rachel kind of mumbled. Well, the girl said, "Oh, I was just checking because a few minutes ago I gave you your pain med, which was zero point 0.5 Dilaudid and 150 fentanyl." Well, me and the other nurse is talking because Rachel had told them when she met me at what age, so just we're bullshitting. Well, as we're doing that, next thing you know, I look down and her face is off color, white. I assumed it was from the surgery, lack of blood. But anyway, I said, "Rachel," and she didn't answer. Well, the one nurse in the room said, "Rachel." No answer. I got down in her ear and hollered Rachel a couple times. No answer. Next thing you know, the nurse starts with the knuckles to the sternum. But it was kind of weird to me because didn't seem like much sense of urgency with her lips being blue. Then she reached and grabbed the bag. Well, she put the bag on her and pumped it once or twice. The bag wasn't sealed around her face. And then she walked away and grabbed some Narcan, came back, hit her with Narcan, uh, put the mask back on her face again, and this time opened her mouth and pumped two or three times and then walked away again as her head rolled over. So the next time she come back, I jumped around there and held Rachel's head up so that she could get it sealed and pumped once or twice. As I'm telling her, I don't know what to do here. This is your all's, trade. I'm just a dumb construction worker. But I could tell something was wrong, but there was no sympathy. The other girl she had hollered at that was in the hallway, she had, well, as Dr. Torque was on his way back, there was no response from the Narcan. When Torque came in, or when the plastic surgeon came in, he assessed the situation and made sure told him to call 911. And the nurse hit Rachel with another dose of.
That's one of the things that disturbed me about this story is why they didn't call 911 before they even called the doctor. I would have risked getting fired by the doctor. I don't understand, I guess, the protocols. Maybe there's certain protocols and certain things you're supposed to do. But I absolutely would have gotten in trouble, reprimanded, and possibly fired because I believe, especially with her lips being blue, I would have called 911.
Narcan
But let's
with no,
continue.
uh, with it not doing anything. So, ambulance rushed, picked us up at the surgery center, brought us to Bethesda North, and North, and this is what we're looking at. She was without oxygen for over 6 minutes, supposedly. I don't know how that happens when you've got a crew that was supposed to be taking care of her. Was told last night that she's brain dead. I've got a couple days to make a decision. To me,
Can you imagine this? Can you imagine this? 1 minute she's talking, the next minute you got to make a decision because your wife is brain dead. Rest in peace, Rachel.
it looks like incompetence. If the doctor would have been there, this wouldn't have happened, or if we'd have been at the hospital, it wouldn't have happened. She was administered too much medicine, point 0.5, uh, point 0.5 Dilaudid on top of 150 fentanyl is way too much for somebody that is so minute amount, that is so sensitive to drugs. Somebody dropped the ball here. But I will tell you one thing, where they brought us, these people are absolutely freaking amazing. They have been amazing with my wife, but it still doesn't change the fact that somebody dropped the ball and killed my wife. By the way, I'm still out all the money for the surgery.
So let's just have a moment of silence. It's amazing how your life can just be gone in an instant. He is alleging that she had too much medicine. He's alleging that she was without oxygen to the brain for 6 minutes. Condolences and prayers go out to her husband, her children, her girlfriends, and everybody who grew to knew her or know her as a content creator. You know, we're together all the time. When I got my stuff together, we're together Monday through Monday. Y'all have gotten to know me. I've gotten to know y'all, and we like family. So I send my prayers and condolences to those people who were supporting her and following her and being there for her, encouraging her, giving her great ideas on, what she should do next, on, the different things. They have started a GoFundMe for Rachel. People who were following her didn't just hear about her, they watched her life. They saw her excitement and her apprehension, her faith and her trust, her family, and she believed that she was safe. And now her story has become possibly a warning and a question mark. Question mark. Her husband has been very vocal, saying that somebody dropped the ball. The family has hired an attorney, and there are ongoing questions about what happened in that recovery room, whether it was a rare complication or something that was preventable. The surgeon has stated the procedure itself was successful and without complications, and that the issue arose afterward during the recovery. So now this story, of course, is just like all of the other ones, have two sides, and there have been no final answers yet. And I'm sure that they're going to have to do an autopsy and all that kind of stuff. But here's the reality: Rachel Tussy didn't go viral because of drama. She went viral because people saw themselves in her. She was a mid aged woman who was trying to feel good again, who was trying to choose herself for once. And she had a life that should have continued, but it didn't. We don't know what happened. You know, we're not placing blame on anybody. We're going to continue to follow this story, and we're going to find out what the outcome of it is. It is very, very, very sad. And as I said, they're doing a GoFundMe for her. Y'all know I don't advertise GoFundMe. Hold on one second, y'all. I don't show GoFundMe's on my page. That is something that I just don't do. I just wanted to let me see if I can pause. I believe that they said that she was an organ donor. For some reason I heard that, but I'm not sure. So I want to take and read some of the comments that were left on her channel, if I can. Let's just see what the viewers are, her viewers and the people who loved her are saying in her comment section. Give me an opportunity to bring that up. So Brittany E says, I'm disgusted that anyone on here could defend Dr. Talk, seeing the condition Rachel is in. If anything, hold your thoughts. This family is clearly suffering, and your comments defending someone who she trusted with her life are unnecessary at this time. Bunny XO said, come on, Rachel. We're all praying for you. I know you can feel us. Brittany said, I saw your video shared in a local group. I had looked into Dr. Talk for surgery but wasn't ready to have it yet. I'm so shocked at the total incompetence of the staff there. I am sorry. Sarah says, I'm a nurse. I worked mid-surge and ICU for 11 years. This is absolutely medical malpractice and negligence. Those nurses should be ACLS certified, and there is no way they are if they bagged a couple of times with no seal and walked away. Lawyer, lawyer, lawyer now. Salon Peachy said, do not unplug her. Organ harvesting is a big thing, and she will come out of it. Lawyer up now. This person that has a heart said, keep fighting. My ex was without oxygen for 15 minutes after overdose and died. His heart stopped 3 times and he was revived. That's something totally go on. Laisha said, don't take her off yet. I was intubated for 2 weeks. Give the body time, seriously. Cosmilk said they overdosed her and waited too long to call 911. I'm sorry. Now, mind you, these are the people, these are their opinions and their words, not mine. Okay? Just sharing some of the comments. Brittany said if they wheel her back at 7:30 to start surgery, she didn't come out of it until 4:45 p.m. I will be questioning way more. That's 10 hours in the operating room and leads me to believe there were issues in the OR. If she just had a tummy tuck, mine lasted 4 hours and less. No, she had a mommy makeover. Let's see what the other comments say. Rideways 361 says, I immediately thought that when he said it started at 7:30, done at 5:30ish. That seems way too long for the procedure she had. I would have been asking what took so long. Now, mind you all, oh, excuse me, the husband was sitting in the car. Oh my God, Jeremy, I can't believe this. This is from Andrea Johnson. She has been such a presence in my life for so long, and I haven't seen her in forever or you, but I love you both, and I can't imagine how you're feeling. I remember when you both started seeing each other. This is crazy. I'm so sorry. This is heartbreaking. They need to be held accountable for what they did. There's no reason they shouldn't have been more responsible with her. They are medical professionals. They know better. Amy Rice said, as a PACU nurse, the medication doses were normal. However, what is not normal is the primary nurse should have bagged her with oxygen, and the second nurse should have grabbed a Narcan and called anesthesia to assist. The surgeon does not normally stay while the PT recovers, but anesthesia should 100% be on site until the PT is discharged. I'm so very sorry. Kath Sweet Candy RN says, write down everything you remember why it still lasts. Lauren B said, this doesn't sound like malpractice from the surgeon. This sounds like the nurses were incompetent. I work in outpatient surgery. It is not common for the doctors to leave after their surgery is completed. Oh, she said it is not uncommon for the doctors, not the surgeons, but people who don't work in surgery don't know that. The nurses should have established an airway, and if they weren't able to do that within 30-ish seconds, they should have called a lips are dusky or blue and you do not walk away or leave the patient for any reason. Also, she should have been on a monitor, and that monitor would have alarmed if her oxygen dropped below 90%. That nurse had no idea what she was doing. I'm so sorry this happened to you and your family. Y'all, this is such a tragic story, but I wanted to bring it to you all. I wanted to have a discussion about it. I'm praying that the truth comes out and that her family is healed and made whole. This is why I be scared to go under. I have followed Rachel on TikTok, dropping in every now and then because she was so real about it, so thoughts and her apprehensions and the of just doing something for yourself. Like so bad, I'm just too scared to go and get one, and now I really ain't getting one. My stomach gonna be fat till it ain't. Anyway, again, my condolences to the family and to the friends. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let's continue to have this conversation. Please, please be respectful while giving your opinion. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night on purpose. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter tomorrow. I love y'all. Until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. Bye, y'all.